Do any of you have any hobbies or things that you practice in your free time that are purely just for your enjoyment? I know I do. I do art. So whenever I come home from a long day at work or a long day of homework, I tend to gravitate towards any type of creative or artistic field that I could get into. This act actually has a name, and it's called catharsis. So this is the act of releasing any type of emotional buildup or clog that you have and releasing it, whether this is working out or drawing or watching a movie or writing an essay. Whatever it is for you, it's very personal. Although it's easy to forget to do these things, it's very important for our self-care. I know as a human species, we are always trained to work hard and do what it takes to get to where we need to be. But we're not often taught that the break balances out the work. Taking breaks for yourself, taking a moment to breathe. People who have mastered catharsis found something that kept them engaged enough to release stress, made a daily routine to follow consistently, and checked in on themselves to keep a healthy mindset. So, just one more time, catharsis is the act of releasing emotional stress through any sort of action or hobby. And this is all a part of self-care, and then that is my thesis. So, hobby practice. To perform the act of catharsis, you must first find a hobby you can consistently practice and perfect that you genuinely enjoy. But you have to make sure that this hobby isn't a task for you. You want it to be something that is enjoyable, and it's really just downtime for your mind and your body. You have to let yourself have these times, because you have to decide you want these times. You have to trick your brain into thinking that it has to happen. A study done by Gurajia Kamal, where they examined cancer patients before and after doing an act of catharsis, they actually saw that these cancer patients were more willing to talk about their emotional state. They felt better physically and mentally purely because they weren't solely focusing on the harder parts of life. They also asked their nurses how they felt, and they also participated in the acts of catharsis, and they said that they enjoyed their job a lot more, and everything just kind of became easier. The benefits of catharsis are clear and have been researched in even the most traumatic parts of life. Having this time will give you and your body time to focus on themselves. To be successful at this, you must schedule your days and follow a dream consistently that you never miss time for you to relax. Making a routine for your life relieves a lot of your anxiety because you know how your day will plan out. But on the off hand, it's also very important to realize that a schedule is a schedule, and if you don't make it perfect, that's okay. You don't always have to be perfect every single day. But routines will help you get a lot of your work done and keep you on a consistent schedule so you're not slacking, but you're also not working too much where you can't have this time for yourself. When you schedule time for yourself, you're not only participating in self-care, but you're giving your brain room to breathe. Your brain will become more consistent and you will feel more helpful or more clear every day at work or every day at school. Routines and time management can be super scary because it's a huge commitment to make and a lot of responsibility. But once you get there, it really helps. Researchers at Princeton University gave their students a list of easy tasks to do to practice time management. This list included commitment, time versus task, focus, one thing at a time, flexibility, routines, and a few more organizational elements. But what came second in their list was pursue fun over vengeance, which they further explained was scheduling your daily life around the enjoyments of life. So that means you want to focus on what's fun in your life and then schedule your work and your school around it, enjoying your life. These people at Princeton really knew what they were doing when they wrote this essay to their students for their 2020 year. While scheduling your day's plan takes away anxiety, it's also very important to not strive to be perfect and follow it perfectly. Because your mental health is just as important as your schedule. It is vital that we practice checking in our brains consistently because if we don't, we aren't really taking care of ourselves. Mental health is very much not taken care of in this day and age, although it is one of the driving factors for a lot of physical ailments. Catharsis is another way for someone to feed their brain with care because you are actively choosing to let your brain release those negative emotions. Dr. Dana Ross wrote in an essay in The Star about how our brains physically react to trauma and specific parts that handle the emotions of it. She broke down the brain into 4 main receptors of trauma. This would be the hippocampus, the amygdala, the prefrontal cortex, and the brainstem. When the body is threatened, we release stress hormones called cortisol and adrenaline. When our hippocampus receives the hormones and processes them, once it goes through the hippocampus, it is then sent to the amygdala that will emotionally react. If we do not properly let our bodies release these emotions, we're not going to know how to react when they all build up and come out at once. Having time to release these emotions and check on your well-being will keep you from breakdowns in the future. Learning to take care of your brain through acts of release is one skill everyone should learn in their lifetime. In conclusion, people who have practiced their hobbies on a consistent schedule have learned the importance of checking in on your brain. It gives your brain space to breathe as you focus on the fun activity in front of you. Trust me, I practice art every day, and genuinely this has helped me. Some days when I'm feeling less happy about life, I'll just pick up a pencil and start drawing, and it does help. Being there for yourself should be a part of your daily routine because everyone deserves to be released from their stress and anxieties, even if it is momentary. This is my works cited for the study on the cancer patients, which is here, the brain, and then the Princeton College essay. Thank you.